are saints who starve for heaven, and sinners who starve for applause. But the most dangerous hunger is the one that calls itself cause. Not the monster beneath the bridge, not the wolf with yellow eyes. The worst of what lives in us wears a collar and a tie. It smiles across the dinner table, it toasts you at the bar. It signs the forms and folds the napkin and knows exactly where you are. The things we do in the name of ourselves, the things we build and the stories we tell. Believe in yourself, they say, and you might, or believe in yourself and go wrong in the light. The sermon is simple, the altar is small, a mirror will serve if it serves at all. Kneel to your shadow, polish its crown. Watch how a kingdom turns upside down. They met behind the hanging hooks in January cold. The groom with something glittering behind his eyes. He smoothed his collar twice before he finally spoke his mind. The kind of calm that only comes when evil's well designed. There is a policy, he said, I took out in her name $200,000, and she doesn't know her aim. We marry in the spring, you see, the timing must be right. I need someone behind the wheel and ready that night. The groomsmen felt the sentence land like something cold and dead. Not metaphor, not temper, not a thing left half unsaid. The hooks above them swung in arcs like metronomes of flame, while pork hung pale and glistening, and the fluorescent hummed its shame. And the butcher kept on working, fork to paper, string to knot. The kind of man who hears a great deal more than he has got. She trusts me, said the groom so flat, no feeling in the word, as if love were a liability, a thing to be deferred. There's someone else, I've promised this, a life beyond the ring. But weddings have their paperwork, and paperwork its string. He'd chosen her deliberately, her salary, her house. A woman who had built herself, and something in him wanted that. He'd learned the way she laughed too loud, the schedule of her heart, and signed his name beside the clause before he asked her hand. Just keep the engine running while she crosses to the door. Just make it look like robbery, that's all I'm asking for. A second's work, a winter night, a tragedy of chance, and you and I go free to live while she completes the dance. The groomsman pressed his back against the cold refrigerated wall. He felt the linoleum beneath him, white and sterile as a hall, where surgeons clean their hands of things they did in careful dawn, where innocence is itemized and stacked beside the heart. I've known you since the army, said the groomsman, voice like stone. I've seen you lie to surgeons, I have seen you lie to bone. But this has got a woman's name attached to it, that's different. That's the who say only are the handmaidens of death. And here the groomsman paused, not from mercy, not from grace, but because he saw his own reflection floating in the groom's cold face. He saw the man he'd almost been in rooms like this before. A man who calls it necessary while he bolts the door. You'll need a night with no one watching, said the groom. I have the dates. The parking structured on the hill has gaps between the gates. She always walks alone from choir. She doesn't carry phone. 3 seconds in the dark, he said, and you and I go home. The groomsman thought of how the groom had taken her hand gently, had smoothed her veil and called her beautiful in front of everyone, had stood beside her father like a son already grown. The kind of man who makes you feel you've always been his own. He thought of her, the bride, the woman, choir voice and steady hand, who ironed his shirts and laughed too loud and made her quiet plans, who had no idea the man she loved had weighed her like a yield, had entered her name in a ledger where the dead ones are revealed. Conviction is a clever knife. It trims away the better life. It cuts the doubt. It skins the leaves behind necessity. A man with reason is a dangerous thing, more dangerous still. A man who believes what reasons bring. They came on a Wednesday, the groom and his second, the plan like a muscle that finally beckoned. A mask in the glove box, a gun on the seat, the engine left running, exhaust in the sleet. She was late from the church house, her heels on the stone, and neither of them thought she'd be carrying her phone. But she'd seen the insurance, she'd found the sign clause, she'd spent 3 cold evenings connecting the flaws. She knew the way predators move in the dark. She'd grown up watching shadows in every quiet park. She'd smiled at the altar rehearsal, said yes to the ring, and waited with patience for everything. They never heard her coming, that was part of her plan. She'd parked the truck already 2 levels down the line, and when the groom stepped from the shadow with his second at the door, she said exactly nothing, which is the loudest thing to hear. The engine caught the headlights, blazed, the tires took the floor. She did not close her eyes, she did not hesitate or pause before 2 men who'd weighed a woman's life at 200,000 clean, learned what the body understands that colder math can't glean. The groomsman cleared the hood he lived,
Though not entirely whole, the groom did not. The parking structure held his final toll. She sat until the sirens found her, engine off, hands calm, and told the officers I knew, and nothing else mattered. The judge looked at the policy, the judge looked at the dates. He looked at 3 deleted texts discussing parking gates. He looked at her and said the word that matters in the dark: justified, and signed his name. But she believed in something they could not foresee, that some of them had read the ending before the first line was written.